Condoleezza Rice has held many titles, including Secretary of State, National Security Advisor, and youngest provost in Stanford's 132-year history.
Throughout her lifetime of achievement, she's always maintained a focus on empowering women at the university. And during this Women's History Month, KTVU's Andre Sr. sat down with Rice on the Stanford campus for a conversation about influencing a new generation of women.
Many leaders have sprung from the hallowed halls of Stanford University, and standing tall among them is Condoleezza Rice.
Yes, thank you for coming. Yes.
Who broke ground when she became nationally known as the first woman to be named U.S. National Security Advisor.
Your first thought is, well, I'm getting to be National Security Advisor, and that's tremendous responsibility. And then it occurs to you, oh yes, and I'll be the first woman to do this.
We spoke to her in the offices of the Hoover Institution, the influential public policy think tank on the Stanford campus, where she is now director. There are offices decorated with her numerous accomplishments, like the December of 2000 front page of the LA Times that heralded the day that then President George W. Bush appointed her to that position of National Security Advisor. On her mind at the time?
Most importantly, be the National Security Advisor so that you're not the last woman to be the National Security Advisor.
It was a job that would lead her to another historic appointment in 2005, becoming the second woman and first African-American female ever to serve as Secretary of State. The position meant she would represent the president and the country around the world. She recounts how it involved meeting with leaders in countries where women don't have equal rights. But she said in those countries, being a woman did have a positive influence.
I would notice that in the Middle East, for instance, when I would do a press conference, some of the countries where women really didn't have much in the way of rights, they would have the 2 or 3 women journalists sitting in the front so that I knew that they were making progress.
Rice recalls a story of a meeting with a tough-minded Shia cleric in Iraq who, after a particularly difficult conversation, proceeded to ask her to meet with his 13-year-old granddaughter. It was a request that Rice granted.
She walks up to me and she says, I want to be foreign minister too, in perfect English.
Rice's emergence from the segregated South to powerful positions also led to her breaking ground outside of politics as well. In 2012, she became the first of 2 female members admitted to the Augusta National Golf Club, which until that point had excluded women over its 80-year history.
What I love about that is that it is a story of America opening up institutions that were previously closed to more and more people so that we the people starts to include me. It once didn't include me.
While Rice's role on the national stage was historic, it was at times turbulent, such as her support for the 2003 invasion of Iraq. But U.S. forces in Iraq, a country that had previously developed a nuclear reactor, found no nuclear weapons there, which was the basis for the invasion.
This was about security. No American president wants to go to war. George W. Bush did not want to go to war.
Despite controversies on the job, Rice's accomplishments fall outside political lines. She proudly displays a photo in her offices of her rubbing shoulders with the Obamas. But because of her political leaning, she is keeping a close eye on the presidential campaign and those participating in her party's primary.
Well, it's early in the presidential season. I'm ready for a new generation of leadership. There's some really great people out there.
Did you support Trump
I am ready for a new generation of leadership.
Rice has said she is not interested in running for higher office, but what she continues to be interested in is influencing a new generation of women as a professor at Stanford to break through the glass ceiling that remains today, a mission far greater than any political affiliation.
And so I try in every interaction that I have with my students to say, go for it. Don't let anybody get in your way.
Andre Sr., KTVU, Fox 2 News.